Were all Porsches air-cooled at some point?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great. I'm the first to admit that my Porsche knowledge is a little bit lacking. But within the last 5 years, there's been a huge surge in the brand's popularity, more specifically, their vintage air-cooled models. To find out what makes these cars so special and why demand is through the roof, I sat down with Porsche restoration expert John Benton at Benton Performance in Anaheim, California. Thanks for being on the show.
My pleasure.
In a philosophical or romantic sense, like intrinsically, what does air-cooled mean to you?
In the romantic sense, air-cooled for me harkens back to this era that came well before us. This all happened in a place and time where it came together to make this really elegant little box that makes power. The motor's finned. It's like a motorcycle. You see a motorcycle with fins and the projected cylinders. You know, these are boxer motors, so everything's pushed out. Like you guys, I think, are used to like Subarus and things that are opposed.
Is it the air-cooled engines that make these cars so unique, or is there some other mysterious factor?
It's been said that the wind shaped the car. They did wind tunnel testing and they did different things. The style is also dictated by the people that designed it. And there's a simple elegance about these cars. There's only a few automotive shapes that you can splash on a wall. And even those who maybe aren't car enthusiasts will say, oh, I know what that is.
They know exactly what it is,
Because that shape, whether it's 356 from pre-A to now, the 911, that iconic shape sprouted from that design, and it's alive today. You see it right now. I'm just in love with it. You know, squeezing the most out of something that shouldn't be doing that is really awesome. It's what we do here. Everybody here is dedicated to preserving these cars. I've dedicated my whole life to it. So.
The first motorcycles were produced in the late 1800s. Familiar names like Daimler and Maybach were producing two-wheeled machines powered by primitive and air-cooled internal combustion engines. It wasn't long until these same engines would be put in four-wheeled designs, giving birth to the automobile. Porsche's first production car in 1948, the 356, borrowed its air-cooled flat four from the Volkswagen Beetle, and they stuck with this simple design for decades. Were all Porsches air-cooled at some point?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
The first Porsche was electric. P1 was electric. So it was air-cooled per se.
The air-cooled technology, it's a little older. Like we were saying, it's more of an antique kind of style. Are they reliable motors, despite the fact that they're not water-cooled?
They're very reliable, like scary reliable. Any bad connotation that comes along with an old car, be it air-cooled or water-cooled, whatever, is usually the result of lack of maintenance and understanding of the machine. For me, early on, I bought some books and, self-education. Went to some of the providers. I'm like, what's the good piston? What can I do to? And so I was on a budget, but I built my first motor, and it never died. I mean, that motor was just alive for a long, long time. I still have a '59 single cab Volkswagen truck. It's got a 1600cc motor in it with a little tiny single carb. If you're used to this stuff, you get used to the fact that in the morning you got to pump it 3 or 4 times and goose it maybe, and then it lights up and you got to warm it up. And when it's hot, just the opposite. You just flood it. So when it's hot, all the fuel boils off, especially the new fuels we have. So you have to just give it a little touch and crank it till it starts and then clean it off. So people that are used to that, you give them their car and you don't hear from for half a year or a year, and they could bring it back for service.
Do you think that's kind of connected to the same way people buy vinyl records and even cassette tapes, an appreciation?
Absolutely. This new generation of people that are appreciating these cars also appreciate other things that are more analog, more visceral, audible, tactile. They're appreciating the things that are present in these cars. As a culture, I've experienced it in the last decade. Artists and people with a more stylistic taste and a different view of the world have become more prevalent. Their voice is heard. They're becoming more affluent. We had yuppies when I was coming up. I don't think they were as culturally emboldened as this last wave of people that appreciate things. But these people have come to appreciate this. And they're used to driving around in a Prius that just click, boom.
Does everything for you.
It just does. Some of the people that are buying these cars now have never owned a car with a clutch. They're not used to warming up a car. They're not familiar with these smells. Like, they think the car's catching on fire. They'll call me, they'll be up in Laurel Canyon. Hey John, the car's making this weird noise and I smell something. I'm like, it's probably the engine making the noise and you're smelling that.
Yeah. With Porsche-oriented events like Lift the Colt growing every year, more and more people are interested in buying air-cooled Porsches of their own. I wanted to know what prospective buyers might be in for. What are some misconceptions about air-cooled Porsches?
I'll give you a round of misconceptions. One of them is that they're affordable. I hear people say about, especially the 4-cylinder variants, that it's a poor man's Porsche. Mm-hmm. There's never a Porsche ever made that was a poor man's Porsche, not even a 914. If you're gonna drive a Porsche car or an air-cooled car, even a Volkswagen, you gotta spend a few bucks. You gotta be willing to do that. Mm-hmm. You gotta put your money where your passion is, because it's gonna take some effort. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, you can save a lot of money on labor, but parts, by and large, quality parts, they cost a few bucks.
Yeah. Is the experience worth the price?
It boils down to two kinds of clients. There's a client that has a car that's been in their family since they were a kid. You know, it was their first car, or they got married in it, or they brought their kids home, or it was their dad's car, grandpa's car. So they are willing to spend what it takes, and they're not worried about the investment, okay? The folks that come in and they're like worried about the investment, that's a tough one. Yeah. It's like, I'm gonna climb Mount Everest, but what's the cheapest rope I can get?
Yeah.
And do I really have to wear those funny shoes? It's like, get the out.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to do this and experience it to the fullest, let's just do it.
Big thank you to John and everyone else here at Benton Performance. This was awesome. I learned a ton. It's exactly what I want WheelHouse to be. So if you want to see us go to more shops, let us know in the comments. If you like Porsches, check out this episode of Up to Speed on the 911. And some of these Porsches were turbocharged. So check out this episode of Science Garage on turbos. It's awesome. Wear your seatbelt. See you later.